Hi, I'm Eric Schmidt, and I write about music for Dirt.
Originally conceived to bring jazz musicianship back to the dance floor, Soulive has built a diverse following among fans of jazz, funk, and rock. In this interview, drummer Alan Evans talks about the band's new album, Breakout, and how no matter how much you pick the music apart, it's all about having a good time. Soulive opens for the North Mississippi All-Stars October 7th at the Fillmore Auditorium.
Well, thanks very much. I write for a couple of newspapers in Boulder, Colorado, and so we're definitely interested in your show coming up down here in Denver.
Right on,
and then also got a copy of your album. I'd love to talk about that and pretty much anything else that you want to. So,
cool, man.
First of all, if you don't mind me asking, we're trying to put together like a podcast thing of some of the interviews we do. So, do you mind if I record this?
Yeah, of course, man.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So, I don't know. Where would you like to start? You want to talk about the album, maybe, or?
Yeah, sure.
So how did that come together? I have, listened through this and see like all the amazing collaborations on there, and then I guess part of it's in your bio here talks about a big evolution from previous things that you guys have done. So how so? How did that change?
Well, it kind of started just with when we left Blue Note. And we just wanted to take a different approach to, how we record and what we record, and just the whole process in general. So we really took our time with it. After we left Blue Note, we weren't really interested in jumping into another label immediately. So we were just like to have a little freedom. Yeah. And we just hung out and recorded and were on the road. And the thing was, we weren't recording a record. We were just going in the studio, experimenting with different sounds, different kind of tunes, different vocalists and things like that. And the whole record took us about 3 years to actually complete, I guess, until it was a finished record. Okay. But it wasn't really until in the past year that we got some interest from the label that we're with now. And at that point, the record was pretty much done, and we just had to compile, put all the tunes together, in a cohesive album. Right. But yeah, it's just a whole different process, man. Because usually in the past, there wasn't much time. For a few different reasons, financial, reasons, and just, we were just on the road a lot, early on. So we would go into the studio, I think the longest we were in the studio cutting a record was like 2 weeks. Okay. We did next, So we just wanted to have some more time, and not feel rushed or pressured or anything, So, we really like the end result. And also, it was just we were finally able to make a record that we thought represented us best. A lot of people think, what they see live is what we do, Okay. That's just only, part of what we do, So, bringing in different vocalists and, just taking that direction, not having like 20-minute jams on a CD, right. just the other side of us, So we're really happy with the end result.
Right. And since you bring it up, can you kind of contrast, like what's the feeling of or even the goal of the live show compared to what's the goal when you guys go into the studio to make a record?
The live show is it's pretty straightforward. We know what we like to do. We've been doing it, a long time, So it changes. It's always evolving live, like now we have the horn section. Well, I shouldn't say now. We've had the horn section with us, Ryan and Rashawn, for a while. Okay. But that comes pretty easy for us, In the studio, it's about, really our focus is usually trying to not do what do live,
Okay.
you know. I mean, it's just, you're in the studio, you know. And on top of that, these days, there's, you know, you can go to any number of websites or whatever, or just rap with people, and get live shows of ours, you know.
Right.
So there's so much live material floating out there, you know. It just seems a bit redundant to go into the studio and spend all this time and money to, you know, record something that you can pretty much get, you know, you can easily get anywhere else on the internet, or, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So.
And it wasn't your last album before this was a pretty straightforward kind of like...
It was a live album.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that was really, that was before, you know, before they had like, you know, like you can go into a show and buy the CD of the show when you walk
Right, just walk out the door.
deal, or, no, just a lot more people since then have been downloading, like, you know, shows from like Archive and, you know, Easy Tree or whatever, all those, you know, different, you know, those have really just come up, you know. So, I mean, when we recorded the live album, that wasn't really, I mean, there's been tapers and stuff, people trading tapes and stuff like that, and the other reason for doing the live album was that we're obviously really big on sound quality, you know. So, you know, our times like, oh man, you know, I got this tape of you guys, it sounds great. Listen to it, like, yeah, okay, you know. It's like, you know, we just wanted, you know, just put our thing on the live recording, you know. I mean, we really dug that, you know. So,
but it serves a different purpose than the studio album, basically.
Exactly. Yeah,
Gotcha.
definitely. I mean, in the studio, you're able to do things that you can't do live, you know. So
you have
do the,
get all these people together like you did on...
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And can you talk about that for a little bit? How did you know, all these people get involved with the record, and, you know, maybe just in a couple short...
Well, I mean, we've known Reggie for a while, a long time, you know, and Ivan. So we're on the road with Reggie right now, you know.
Right.
And then Ivan, we were on the road with him, you know, on tour. We've known Corey for a long time, and then Robert. I mean, and then the whole Shaka thing was just a real special situation. A few times, well, I'm in LA right now, and a few times, maybe like last year, I guess it was, he came out and sat in with us, and we just really connected quickly